Well, good morning folks, and welcome back to the channel and to another scenery review. I'm trying to get two scenery reviews out this week. I may not manage it because of certain circumstances, but we're going to give it a go. So here we are at the first review. My name's Lee, your virtual airline pilot. We are in Turkey, and this is Erzincan Airport, Lima Tango Charlie Delta. This is a freeware scenery which you can get from Flightsim.To. I'll put a link in the description. It's received some pretty positive reviews, and again, it's an interesting little airport located in a very scenic location with some really interesting approach options here. So Erzincan Airport in Turkey, a freeware scenery by Jin. Hope I pronounced that right. This is version 1.1 for the PC. No mention as to whether it's available for Xbox. Downloads at 60.4 meg and installs at 255 meg. So it's not massive, but there's quite a bit to see here. It's available on Flightsim.To now. Initial release was on the 26th of January and was updated to version 1.1 on the 28th. But a really nice little airport that's received some positive reviews, and we're going to have a little look at it. So as ever, first of all, some history. Erzincan Yildirim Akbulut Airport, or Lima Tango Charlie Delta, is a public/military use airport operated by the General Director of State Airports Authority and is located in the town of Erzincan in northeastern Turkey. The city is mostly populated with Turkish Sunni, but with a significant Alevi Kurdish minority. The city's history dates back to 387 AD, when it was known as Erzincan, not sure I pronounced that right, and was a divided city into two vassal states, but ultimately was part of Armenia. During the First World War, the Russians invaded Erzincan and took the city in 2 days. By February 1918, Turkish forces retook the city, and the event is still celebrated today. In December 1939, the city of Erzincan was completely destroyed by an earthquake measuring 7.8 on the Richter scale. Over 32,000 people perished, and so extensive was the damage that the original site of the city was abandoned and a new city founded a little further to the north. Currently 3 airlines serve the airport here. Anadolu Jet flies to Ankara and Istanbul Sabiha Gökçen Airport. Pegasus Airlines flies to Istanbul Sabiha Gökçen Airport, and Turkish Airlines flies to Istanbul the new airport. By 2017, over 500,000 passengers passed through the airport. So not much history to find out about this. Erzincan as a city, as you can see, has been around for a long time, and lots of history. But as you can see from the scene here, beautiful airport surrounded by very high mountains, so you need to be pretty careful, although it's a pretty spectacular approach. So let's have a look at runways. So runways. Erzincan Airport operates a single runway measuring 9,843 feet or 3,000 meters, and it's made from concrete, although part of it is made from asphalt. The airport sits in a high elevation valley surrounded to the north and south by mountains over 13,000 feet or 3,900 meters in height. The airport itself lies at an elevation of 3,791 feet or 1,155 meters. The main terminal ramp has room for 6 aircraft, and the military ramp just a few meters to the northwest. There's also an engine test area and a smaller disused runway to the south of the main runway. You can just about see that there. We'll have a look when we get to the other end. We're currently looking down the throat of runway 28. Both ends of the runway feature high-intensity runway lighting, high-intensity airfield lighting system, and precision approach path indicators on both sides of the runway. You can see that there. Additionally, runway 28, and we're looking down the throat of that now, features sequence flashing lights. Now you can see it would appear that they're there but they're not active. It may be an issue with SOBO rather than the scenery, I'm not sure, but you've got the option here to have the sequence flashing lights in the approach system, but they just don't seem to be on at the moment. Runway 28 features a localizer approach option with a descent beginning at over 12,500 feet. Approaches to runway 10 feature both VOR A and B and NDB A and B options, and care must be taken when manoeuvring in the valley between the mountains. So as you can see, the runway here, runway 28's got pretty much everything it should have. You've even got centerline lighting as well, and I think there's touchdown zone lighting. It's just the sequence flashing lights at the moment are not on, but it's not an issue. Let's go have a look at runway 10. So here we are looking down the throat of runway 10, runway 10. As you can see, pretty much as it should be. We've got approach lighting. There's no ILS at this end of the runway. It's a VOR or NDB approach only. Could be fun at night, but you do have plenty of lighting, which is good. Here's the disused shorter runway that you can see, so just be careful not to land on it. Here's the military apron, and there's the main apron and terminal. As you can see, it's a beautiful, really beautiful location. So, no jetways at this airport, so no need for a jetway test today. We've had some history. Let's bring it back to the daytime, let's get down to the airport and have a look at what we've got. Okay, we start with a couple of quick sort of local shots around the main ramp here so you can get a good idea of what's been done. Here you can see the main terminal building, which is exactly as it appears in real life. I've done a bit of research. There's not a lot of research to find out in terms of history. Most of it dates back to before the airport was built. But here we're looking at the terminal, and there are plenty of photos around. Terminal's exactly as it should be. There's my aircraft parked on stand 2. And as you can see, the ramp textures look really good, signage is great, terminal looks really nicely constructed. It's actually not a bad little scenery considering this is freeware. It's another example of just how well we're spoiled here in the sim community by people that do this kind of work for free. It's amazing. So there to the left, some basic buildings showing the military apron area. It just really looks nice. And looking out across the field there, you've got a windsock, you've got plenty of signage here, which we'll look closely at in a minute. Taxiway signage is good, everything's as it should be, which is excellent. Beautiful view of the mountains there in the distance. So here you can see the VIP terminal, a picture of, I've got a feeling this is Mr. Erzincan, one of the Prime Ministers of Turkey. And here you can see roadways, gates, and the fence line. Everything done to a really nice standard. We even got the entrance signage out here, and we'll have a look landside in a minute. But again, all looks really quite nice. Here's the fire station and the control tower. No internal development in the tower, but the building looks really good. We're going to have a close-up look. So as you can see, nice detail on the building. He's done a lovely job of modelling it. It's very impressive. Once again, odd little buildings. I can't read Turkish unfortunately, so I can't exactly say what that is. But again, nice modelling. Foliage looks good, lighting looks good as well, which we'll have a look at in a minute. So there's the control tower, very nicely modelled. Nothing really much to say about it, but it does look nice. And the fire station, again nicely modelled. Some very good, nicely modelled fire engines here. And some little images here that give the appearance of something going on inside, and the name of course in Turkish. More basic little buildings out here. I'm not exactly sure what this is. It might be a de-icing area or something. If somebody can read Turkish and tell me what that says, maybe drop me a message in the comments, I'd really appreciate it. So let's get out on the taxiways and the runway and have a look. So yeah, just an example of some of the trouble he's gone to make sure that everything is correct. Here you've got the no entry sign, and this little road here with a big cross means the aircraft shouldn't turn onto it. It's reserved for the fire state tenders that come out to the runway. So here's the main entry and exit point going from the runway to the main ramp. You can also access runway 10 threshold via taxiway Charlie to our left, and to our right is the taxiway that's now closed and not to be used. But as you can see, signage is fine. It's done a lovely job. It's, you know, looking at the charts here, it's as per the charts, with the exception of the flashing lights on the approach to runway 28. And as you can see, I mean, it just looks beautiful, especially the mountains in the background. So let's have a little travel out landside. We'll go down this road first before we look at the airport itself close up. There's the gates, and the road's been nicely done. There's the emblem for Turkey there. It's very nice, Turkish flag there. Name of the airport in Turkish. And here you've got the entrance, complete with barriers. And it goes out to the main road here. So there's your airport entrance looking in. It's nice. They've done a very nice job, no complaints at all. Let's go in over this car park and have a look landside of the terminal. As you can see, not sure about the cars being parked where they are, especially since it's like photo terrain, but that's fine. You know, we're not talking payware here. But everything here has been nicely placed. 3D modelled landside here. It's very nice. Cars are of a good standard. The roadways very nicely done. Barriers, signage, buses, texturing, everything right down to the little signage there and the seats. I mean, it looks great. Let's just go down lower here and have a closer look at the landside. No internal development in the terminal, but I'm quite happy with that. There you can see the entrance. It looks very nice. And what I believe to be a couple of taxis there. And here you can see a really nice touch. I mean, he's even included the waste bin, a couple of seats, and the signage there is really quite clear considering we're a close-up. As we track down the road here, you know, it's excellent. It's very simple, but it's nicely done and very effective. And he's continued to work pretty much straight out there as well. It's great. It's a lovely little airport. Here's the VIP building. Again, no internal development, but it does look nice. Nice car park. Car models are perfectly acceptable. And there it is. It's a nice building, nicely modelled and textured, with the trees nicely planted where they should be. And there's a control tower. As you can see, the airport's very nice indeed. Quite simple. Lots of texturing and nice work done all over the place. It's great. And there in the other direction, really nice. No complaints at all. It's been very, very nicely modelled. The military area was fairly simple. I don't think we'll go and have a look at that at all. It's fairly simplified, but it's there for you pilots if you want to fly your jets in here. And as you can see, he's carried on the work slightly out to landside. It's really good. Okay, so let's turn the lighting down to dusk and have a look at the lighting here. Okay, just after 10 to 6 in the evening, local time. As I said, this is February 2023, we're in the winter. And as you can see, very nice lighting. The sources are correct, the building looks nice, and those big light poles are really, really good. Looking out to the runway taxiways, you can see green centerline lighting, which is perfectly good, blue airfield edge lights. The signage is lit as well, and I think I was correct in as much as these are the active taxiways, but you shouldn't be using this because it's not lit. Here's the military area. Interestingly enough, the airport flashing light is not on the main terminal area, it's over the military side. That's an interesting little thing. and they're looking in the other direction towards the other end of the runway there, runway 28. So let's have a close-up of the terminal bits and pieces and see what it looks like. So it's quite nice, the effect is quite nice. Can't really see anything inside, so there's been no parallaxing work that I can see, but it looks perfectly acceptable. The ramp is nicely lit, so you're going to have no problem doing night landings here. Roadways are good, all the little bits and pieces that you expect to be seen here. You know, it's great, it's lovely, it's really nice for a Freeware. And there we are looking in another direction. Now you can see some of the detail on the building here. So it's nice, it's no complaints at all. There's the VIP building, much the same as the main terminal, very nicely lit. And again, no sobo globes floating around. Very, very nice lighting provided by the two lamps. And you've got a little bit of internal here that you can see, giving this nice effect on the windows, which is quite pleasant. As we pan across here, you can see the same thing that's been done to some of these buildings. And here we've got the fire station. Again, nice subtle lighting, nothing fancy, all's been done really nice. Be nice to see the control tower lit in some way inside, but for the purposes of this scenery at the moment it's not. But yeah, no problem with that. Now we're looking to landside. As you can see, there's lighting across the city and across the various buildings. Here we're looking towards landside of the airport, which there's partial lighting. We're going to have a look in a minute. And there's the main ramp as viewed from this angle. As you can see, the lighting is perfectly adequate here at the sun gone down. You can find your way into the terminal quite easily. Let's just have a little look landside. So across the top of the fire station, across this building, there's the control tower to the left. Very nicely done. There's the VIP building. Very nice lighting, no problem at all. It'd be nice to see the odd car there, but they've chosen not to do that as such. Again, you've got properly built lighting, correctly placed. No globes that I can see floating at the moment. Here we go across the main terminal. Again, the lighting is lovely. Building is nicely lit. And it's only when we get out here that we start to see some sobo globes, but I can forgive that, it's not a problem. Most of the lighting here has been done beautifully. Going across the car park out towards the airport entrance. The main lighting is provided by the lights, which is as it should be. So again, lots of little subtle lighting that just make it work. It's just great. So we're coming out to what would be the main highway, and there's a view looking in towards the airport. So we're tracking back in towards the terminal. Let's have a close-up look. So again, it all looks pretty dark. It's not been lit inside in any way, but you know, that's fine. Have no problem with that at all. And while we're here, just a quick look at the runway lighting, taxiway lighting. As you can see, blue airfield edge lights, green centerline lights. The signs are properly lit as they should be, and the centerline lights go right out to the runway, so that's not an issue. And there's a nice view of the central area. So let's turn it down to night time. So here we are, just after 9 PM local time. As you can see, darkness is properly upon us now, but the lighting is very effective, and now you can now see the taxiways and the edge lights, and the lighting on the ramp looks good. It looks quite adequate from here, and as I suspected earlier, on the right hand side there you can see that other bit of taxiway that's crossed that you shouldn't be using. And here we are looking out towards the threshold of runway 10. On the right there you can see the military area. which hasn't been lit in any way at all, which is fair enough. And finally looking out to the threshold of runway 28, the moon's going down there quite nicely. As you can see, runway, not a problem at all. Centerline lighting goes all the way down the runway, which is great. So again, here we are on the main ramp, and you can see my aircraft and the lighting looks perfectly adequate. No parallaxing or anything being done on the terminal itself to allow you to see inside or give you any illusions. Fairly basic, but then again we must remember this is freeware, but apart from that, as pilots you've got everything you need here to be able to park up and fly in and out of this airport, and sort of to see what you would expect to see. So here's the view from the captain's side from within the flight deck. This is what you'll see when you finally park up, looking out there at night time. It's exactly what you'd expect to see, and it gives you the right amount of sort of ambience, as it were. View out of the captain's window, and there we are looking across out from the first officer's window. So all in all, night time, it looks very acceptable. Lighting is lovely. It's come up, and there I've just panned back a little bit so you can see the ramp lighting and the lead up from the runway and taxiway. There's going to be no problems coming in here at night. Hardest part will be able to land safely, manoeuvring within the mountains. But once you get down, coming off the runway into the terminal, it's not going to be a problem. So just a quick view of the terminal complex landside. Again, nicely lit. I really quite like these lights and the way the vegetation has been lit. Would have been nice to see the terminal worked on a little bit more so that you could maybe have the illusion of seeing something inside. I don't expect to see it fully developed, but who knows, maybe the gentleman will update this version further, we'll see. There's the VIP building and the parking area in front of it. And finally the approach into the airport and the main roads lit all the way down. Surprised this isn't lit. Maybe, I don't know if it is in the real world, but I'm quite surprised not to see that lit there, but there you go. So 7:30 in the morning, this is the early dawn, and here's the view across the main ramp, and time to give you my thoughts. Okay, this is a very nice little airport. It's not that well known. It does have regular airline flights into it, not a lot, but it does have them. There's a lot that hasn't been done, but we have to remember, A, this is freeware, doesn't cost you a penny, it's not a huge download, so it's not going to take up a load of space on your drives, and without doubt it definitely beats the default. And it's in a lovely location. It's one of those places, you need to fly in and experience. It's done a nice job on the terminal, on the VIP area, the main ramp, runways and taxiways and everything as they should be. The only thing that I can see is the sequence flashing lights are missing from the approach to runway 28, but that may be an Asobo issue rather than the developer himself. He's chosen not to really do very much with the military area. That's fine. Most people I think going to fly in here are going to be the Big Tin pilots rather than the military jockeys. It's not gone out that far from the airport area, but again, that's okay. The file size has been kept quite low, and what you need as a pilot is really here. And as I said, I must stress it's a huge improvement over the default, and it's yet another Turkish airport, and it's great to see some airports appearing in Turkey and being developed, certainly for the Turkish pilots among us. So as you can see by this shot, now beautiful location. I've no problems with this airport at all. We will fly in here. It's a good 4 hours from the UK, but certainly worth a go, I think. Very nice indeed. So kudos to the guy for doing it. Very, very pleased with it. So there you go, folks. Erzincan Airport in Turkey, Lima Tango Charlie Delta, a freeware scenery by Erzincan. This is version 1.1 for the PC version of Flight Simulator 2020. Download is 60.4 megs, installs at 255 megs. and it's available free from Flightsim.To now. Current version is 1.1. No mention of compatibility for Xbox. Hopefully that will be made clear. A lovely little airport, another one to add to your collection, and I'm really pleased with it. It's lovely. So this is Lee, your virtual airline pilot, wrapping up another review of yet another nice little scenery that I'm very pleased to bring to your attention. If you've enjoyed this review and any of my reviews, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel. Thank you to the 600 odd subscribers now who have decided to follow me and join me. I'm really pleased to have you on board. I'm going to try and get my second review out this week, where we'll be looking at the Mara by Builds, which basically is another Central African bush scenery. We're going to get the helicopter out and have a look at what that is. There will be obvious comparisons with the Okavango Delta scenery by Simworks Studios, but I'm not going to make that to some extent. I'm just going to have a look at it and enjoy what's been done. So thank you for joining me, folks. My name's Lee, your virtual airline pilot. We'll see you again, and I hope to have a stream going some point soon. I've got to kind of relearn that again, but I want to do a video stream. So again, thanks very much. Guys, have a great week and weekend that's coming, and I will see you in the next video. So bye bye for now.